Hey folks, welcome to FiddleHed, good to have you. So one of my students, FiddleHed David, asked, how do you play a tune in time with the metronome? He said that he can do one tune in time with a metronome, but then some other one he can't. So in this question and answer lesson, I'm just gonna briefly talk about how you can play at a steady tempo with a metronome. It's more challenging than you think. And if you're struggling with it, realize that it can be pretty hard if you haven't done it before. So I'm going to start with just saying that treat it as a new instrument almost. And what do you do when you start playing a new instrument? You don't play a complex song, you play single notes. So with your metronome, turn it on, I have it at 80 beats per minute, play single notes. And then progress, so those are quarter notes. Try something else, eighth notes, triplets. And you can do each of these rhythms at different tempos. You can do more complex rhythms like syncopated, or one I call, that's triplets again. Anyway, whatever rhythm you pick, you can do it in multiple tempos and really push the boundaries. Slow is hard too, and then that will really lay the foundation for doing more complex things. Okay, the next tip is to play it slower with the metronome than you think. You may be able to play it around 80 beats per minute for something, but then you always get tripped up at a certain spot in the song, right? And then you're out of sync with the metronome. And so you want to start at a much slower tempo that you can actually get through a tune with, okay? So, and then you'll want to track your tempos. I'm jumping ahead, but that's an important thing. So if you know that you can do a certain thing at 60 beats per minute, then you can slowly push the envelope. We'll talk more about that in a sec. So another tip is to not speed up the whole tune. Start with very key parts that are challenging, that tend to mess you up. So let's look at a old Joe Clark, a round peak version. So I am just looping on the first quarter of the tune, and once I get that, then I can move on. So a tip I have for that is to play it once with the metronome and then listen and then play it again. So do single reps separated by a break. Something like, oh. I'm giving myself a little time to reset. And then once I can do that, then try to do it very continuously. It may take some massaging to find the right loop, but no break. And another thing you can do is to just listen to that beat. It may seem like a really boring beat, but just listen to it, feel it in your body, maybe close your eyes, and it'll help you connect with it, okay? So once you've done that little loop, then you can move on to another hard part. Hit up all the hard parts, and then maybe see if you can do the whole thing with a metronome. Track your fastest tempo, and if you want to get really scientific with it, maybe track the fastest tempo for the hardest part. Maybe that's like a good metric or way to measure how to play the rest of the tune, if that makes sense. Okay, so just some ideas on playing with a metronome, and I'll end by saying that just have a growth mindset with all this. Think to yourself, well, I can't play it at 100 beats per minute yet. Yet is the key. But eventually I'll be able to do it. 1 beat per minute faster a day. You first find your limit on a tune. Maybe it's 80, like I was just doing. And then let's say that you can't really go much faster than that without having it fall apart. Reliable performance, another way to put it. Then maybe tomorrow you can go 81. and and you see where this is going. Just gradually push it up. Maybe you'll get to a point. I've gotten to the point at which something, I just can't get it faster than that. Then just let it go for a little while. Maybe come back to it later, and maybe after you've learned a bunch of other things, you'll be able to do it more quickly then. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Question. Thank you, David, for your question, and we'll see you around the FiddleHed universe. Okay. Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more. Thanks for watching the video. Excellent! And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.